Hello, welcome. So, if you're watching the archive, then this is going to be the start of the stream. If you're not watching the archive, you may already know that I tried streaming before, just a few minutes ago, but due to technical issues I restarted the computer and we're only now back. So, lag test, is it better? Yes. It's still not perfect, but it is actually much better than it was before. Lovely. And it is still with the two elements both here, so apparently that doesn't make such a big difference. Right, so Albastro, Kangafango, Shadow of Khan, hello. I did read chat while you were typing it. I'm not going to go through it, I think I've already lost enough time. I'm just going to quickly skim over it. Waiting and humming the theme from Jaws. Pictures Airplane intro. Ah, yes. Airplane is a good film. I agree. The film has in German the title The Incredible Journey in a Crazy Plane. Die unglaubliche Reise in einem verrückten Flugzeug. Yes. Airplane to the sequel. The Incredible Journey in a Crazy Spaceship. Yes. I specifically appreciated all the Star Trek references in that. Because they had some of the actual props from the Star Trek films as well, like those machines on the ground with those light beam bars going between them, like with a red light that was circling inside, like in the laboratory in Star Trek. They had in the space machine where they said, well, what does that thing do? Well, it blinks. So, also the door references and things like that. And of course, the Enterprise itself. That's a title. We seem to love long film titles. I mean, in Germany, long words in general are quite common. Surprisingly enough, the local cinema had actually shown the original Airplane film last month. Aside from around 45 others, the room was basically empty. Unfortunately, it was, I think, for the film's one of the anniversaries. I think it might have been the 30th anniversary or 40th? No, 40th. Yeah, it must have been 40th. Because it was made in the 80s, so yeah. Some of the films are better than the films today, be it because of the actors or because of the films in general. Yeah, I think that with a lot of films nowadays, they try to impress with a lot of. Actually, I'll get back to that in a bit. I don't want to use too much time on this because we've gone over half an hour and I've not even started yet, basically. Yes, we're back. Good. yeah. Favorite green girls, yeah. Reminds me of, well, first asked the newsboy, yeah, he didn't know, so asked the fireman, the greengrocer, the butcher, the baker, they didn't know, but the liquor store guy, he knew. Yeah, that you posted that before, I know, you wanted to be on stream. And then I correctly guessed that it was the Roger Rabbit reference. Good film. Better said, a film classic. Yes. Did Hort appear on Airplane too? I don't believe so. But I could be mistaken. I don't think so. Or the Mantrap Salt Vampires? I don't think so. At least I don't remember them. Airplane was from 1980. So the 40th anniversary would have been 3 years back. Was it? 1980? Wasn't it 1983? Hold on. Let's quickly get up. Oh yeah. I thought it. Well, then it was the 43rd anniversary. There you go. Right. So let's actually begin. The plan for today is to fill this tiny little green space with warehouses and factories and stuff like that, and then to finally extend. Well, penultimately extend the route. Speedrun MVR. No! I want to build. I don't want to drive on it. And if I'm speeding, then we're going to lose all the points. Right, so let's have a quick look down here. What sort of height-wise, what sort of buildings do we want? Well, I don't really want to put much in the way here because I want you to be able to see the excavation site and the buildings back there. However, a few taller buildings over here might work. Although, maybe something over here that still allows for line of sight of the traffic lights there, because I think the traffic lights in the distance add quite a bit. I thought penultimate was a few streams ago. Someone wake me up when we're done. Okay, so what sort of object do I want? I want a warehouse. Maybe I can reuse one of these ones. I need something that's not too large. Maybe that one. That one might work. We're done with sleeping. Although looking at that, does that feel a little too small with a tall building behind it? I mean, this way it blocks the view of the traffic lights anyway. What if I try to use this over here? Could you still see the construction site? Yes, clearly. So from over here you can clearly still see it. So if I move this to about, I think actually there feels quite natural. And then having an area around it of like asphalt, I think that works. So I'll use the same textures as I use every night. Pinky. Just 5 more minutes. Just 5 more turns. Yeah, I did try to see if Civ 6 worked on my old Max SSD, but the operating system is too outdated and I can't update it on that. So that's just gonna have to wait for a bit longer. Although I will try to see if Ticket to Ride works, which it may do. Okay, a little bit of this texture around, a little bit of the bluer one in some spaces. A little bit like that. And then using this kind of mossy gravel texture over here. Just to bring that around. To get a bit more of a transition as well to the grass lines. I'll put those along here. Ticket to Ride should, I think. It's quite a few years old, so 11 actually. I mean, it would be nice. Although we don't really have a slot to stream it on at the moment, do we? Should I leave this little gap in here? Might be quite nice. Might be an interesting access way. If I took one of the dirt texture that I paint underneath the roads, specifically that one, which I think may be the same one that I just clicked on, but who knows? Then painted that underneath a little bit. No, I'll try the more reddish, muddy looking one. This one. Yeah, that one feels like it fits a lot better. Although, our on-stream first reaction to the UK map special rules was excellent. Yes, I remember. Because we'd only ever played 2 games of Ticket to Ride, at least you and I. And then it's like, let's try the UK one. And it's like, okay, you need to actually research stuff and unlock it, and different players have to compete with that, and you can only do these things to do that, and you can unlock the brakes, and you can unlock this thing, and you can unlock ferries, and you can look. It's like, okay, good. And the rights to build in different locations and stuff like that. Watermelon one time digitally. Oh, you were keeping tally. Interesting. Okay, and then what does it look like now? Yeah, with this here, I actually don't think that we need to have access back there, because this brings it in a lot closer. So just filling this space in, I think, should be enough. What about some of these buildings back here? No, I don't really want the downtown buildings. I want more industrial looking ones. Maybe try this one. Okay, so this has a lot of these access. Also, yeah, the texture quality like this is really quite low, but for performance reasons it's okay. I might end up turning it back up at some point as well. Right, so having that there, let's fill in this quickly. Imagine if this ended up taking so long that we still didn't add any new baseboards this stream. Wouldn't that be funny? 1¼ hours later. I see. That I didn't mean to predict that. It's just supposed to be a joke. Okay, that texture variation is enough for this distance. A little bit of this along here. Why would I imagine such a terrible... Aww. Well, I think terrible is an overstatement. Unfortunate, yes, but not terrible. Okay, just this little tiny area to fill in. You see here the issue is I would like to have buildings here, but I'd need something that's tall enough to not look too small in front of these big buildings back here. But it can't have a very wide footprint. So maybe something like... Actually, no, this is the big one. Maybe I could use some of the downtown buildings, like maybe this one. Hypothetically promised even... What? I was promised new baseboards, hypothetically promised even. Is that going to work? No, not really. I don't think. Yeah, that's too tall. And it doesn't look good freestanding like that. It looks like it has to be part of a block. Let's try this one. I haven't used this one a whole lot, I think. Maybe, but see, it just looks a bit small next to the other ones back here. Although, maybe this would fit better over here. And if I give it a little bit of space... Actually, yeah, I think that could work quite nicely. Maybe I'll just change it up and use a little bit of the gravel texture around it rather than the asphalt. Whose fault? Whose fault? Let's blame it on the fault. or however that song goes. Also, I don't like that texture. The color doesn't fit very well together. This one is the one I think I want to mix in with it. So it brings in a little bit of a different texture, but not too wildly different. And maybe some sort of derelict building here. Let's just very quickly go through these. I mean, no, well, that's clearly a barn. Because Mr. Richter can't predict our kick in our asphalt. Yes, the Richter, the Richter scale. Which, fun fact, Richter is German for judge. Alright, like derelict buildings. I mean, maybe something like this. Although that does... I mean, it might work. If I placed some trees around it. Now the town is falling down while the ground moves around. We won't let it get us down, get beneath the door frame. Yes, indeed. Right, very quickly go through these. Garbage bags, yes, but not now. Very, very quickly. Mattresses, newspapers. What about this? No, that doesn't fit. This might fit. Actually, that fits a lot better. Because that is an industrial building. It looks a little bit like a barn, but not completely. Ah, yes, that fits much better. It kind of, I think that really does, ooh, or maybe that. Maybe that one would fit better. Yeah, but the other one really did emphasize the transitional space, although, like the transitional space between the fields over here and the downtown, but I think this one might actually fit a little bit better. Yeah, I think this one fits better, height-wise and style-wise. Okay, so let's use this one. I'll still put a little bit of the gravel texture underneath it, like the mossy one, this one. And a little bit of, whoops, a little bit of this one. And then maybe add a little bit of ivy, because I know there are some ivy splines. Barncat. Always the softest. The picture of the cat from 1991 was originally a barn cat. Oh, I see. I want one of the 3-meter ones if possible. I'll try this one. Well, it does look okay, but the door... Yeah, the doors look a bit recessed, which doesn't work that well with the ivy. Maybe I could place some objects over it. No, the picture itself was originally the cat. Wait, the picture itself was originally the cat. So you had a cat, and then you turned the cat into a physical picture. I see. I didn't think you'd do that to a cat, but I mean, well. Was that a motorbike? Outside? Yes. Inside? No, luckily. Okay, and here I'm just going to add a little bit of this over the top, just so the pattern has a little bit more variety. Just like that. And then, well, we'll see. And that's just a separate wall. Let's see, is there anything? Ivy Bridge, footbridge. Well, there is this, but that's just such a tiny object that it doesn't really work. How about climber? Nope, still only these assets. Okay, well, I'll see if maybe placing a tree inside, that's kind of clipping through, might have the desired result. Yeah, see, just something like that. That looks like it's climbing up around the sides. Makes it look a lot better given the recessed nature of the doors. Over here as well. Just sort of like that. And then we'll of course need grasses. What would it look like just putting this grass all over the place? Actually, yeah, that works quite well, surprisingly. And then maybe add a little bit of a fence. Although I don't want to spend too much time on this. Just having a fence going from there around here, around this property, sort of like that. Yeah, I think that adds in just a little bit of extra detail. Also, I want a tiny little tree there. Maybe one of these ones. Just sort of, just to break up this grass a little bit. Maybe just sort of there. And also maybe a few bushes. Which I placed over here. Move that into the ground slightly. Over here as well. A little bit over here by the fence and the tree. Don't really need to put too much effort over here because this is not really that visible, although at this point it is. So just a little bit like that. And how does that look? Looks okay, but this needs to be pushed up a little bit like that. Now that we've got the bushes along here, I do kind of have to have a little bit of them along here as well. Otherwise it'll just feel a bit empty. Okay, one over here. And then maybe just one over here as a kind of a transition. Just like that. Yeah, that looks good. I'm happy with that. I am happy with this. Although this grassy area looks a little too empty. Hold on. Yeah, I need just a little bit around here where the trees are. Just like so. And probably one over here as well, because you can kind of look through there, which I don't really want. So just like that. Right, that's good. Now, I don't really want to put more detailing in here now because half of the stream's gone. Half of the stream time's gone, and I do want to extend the route this time. So while it's saving, I'll read the chat. Wait a minute. You expect us poor innocent children to climb up dangerous scaffolding and paint cats all over the barn? Ha ha ha. Yeah. Wasn't me. Kango, what have we told you about motorbiking in the house? You yourself continuously encouraged it last month. Haha, did I? Where we had the expired anti-amnesia potion. Never mind. Yeah. The expired anti-amnesia potion. Okay, so, everybody, it is a momentous time. Because it is time to expand the route by placing baseboards along here. The last time we placed baseboards over here was, well, a long time ago. So, beautiful. Get your crackers ready. Yes, get them ready. Actually, no, let's have a little look at the map first. Yeah, so we built, because I started over here, started with this, then we built a little bit over here, and then up here, up this way, up to about there, and then we built the dam area, and then we built a lot of the stuff down here, and then we built up here this bit, and then these bits, and then this bit, and we built a bit more over here and down there, and now, oh, actually no, and then we built this bit back here, and then yeah. So now it is time to actually press the button. Actually, hold on. Right, so it is time to press the button. So 3, 2, 1. There you go. With the different texture because, well, of the update. But that's okay, I can replace that quite easily. Okay, I am going to add 3 baseboards like this, just because we might need a little bit more space over here. Although, looking at it, do we? Actually, we probably don't, thinking about it. Although maybe. I'm just going to add it. We can always delete it later if we don't end up needing it. So, okay, so that goes up to now. How much distance do I want to the next station? So we've got Telehay over here, and then that is, I'd reckon that that's about. Actually, hold on. How many meter? 1 second. Meters to mile. 700. So actually, 1 mile is about 1,600 meters. So 1,600 divided by 720, 2.2. Okay, so pretty much what I thought. So about this distance, that's about a mile. So then this will be about a mile to there. So that's about 2 miles between stations. So I think, okay, so I want to have 1 passenger station here, and then I want the terminus to be, well, around here. I want 1 passenger station around here, and then I want the terminus to be around down there. And then, oh right, this should be the rotation, so around here and then over there. And then I do want, so 2 things. One, the terminus I will do research on what kind of track work was around these structures, or is around these structures, because I will want a Y for trains to be able to turn around at, because, well, that'll just be useful. Either a Y, or maybe I want a switcher to that, but I think I'll want a Y. And also, if we've already got a Y, I might put in like a main line crossing over the top out of our main line coming down here with a bridge. So that'll just go to portals on both sides. So that'll one, it'll spawn AI trains. Two, it might be used as a Y for turning around, but I don't know yet. I'll have to do research for that. So that's the terminus bit. Then we've got the intermediate station, or the mediocre station, or the penultimate station. Y like that. Now, the second thing I wanted to say is that for all of this area, I would like to paint the roads in, like I have done over on the left here, because I think that this just looks a lot more realistic, and I can get it looking much closer to what I actually want. Vote, Mr. Saxon. No. Now, the little issue with that is that over here, I've got the spline roads from the industrial area, and with the custom station, well, with the intermediate station, I want the custom roads on both sides. So I'll first need to have a little bit of space to transition. So probably till about here, it's probably going to be fine. And then a little bit of space for the station, so having the station around here is probably going to be good. So where the edges between these spaceports. So if the station's here, that should give us plenty of space. And if we imagine the distance from there to there, maybe a little bit less than that. So then if that's the station here, maybe this long, then we'd have a little bit of route, then probably a bit of a lead to go onto the Y or the crossing, and then we'd have the station over here. So we've still got a bit of a ways to go, but that shouldn't take too much time, considering that we can just put buildings either side of the tracks and don't really need to do much scenery beyond that. Right, so now that that's taken care of, I think that was a very productive stream. Thank you all very much for coming, and oh, we've still got an hour. Oh, right. Anticipation. I built the dam area, and then I built that dam area, and then go press the button. Press the button. Freight port, ships. Ooh, yes. That's why, Delilah? I don't get the song reference. Sorry. Delilah, yes, sorry. Having a moment. Boat Quimley. No, will forever live in shames. Stooped to Mr. W levels of writing. Well, I'm sure that is a very good compliment. Joking. Well, that's... Don't you dare leave us behind. Quimby. Quimby? What do you mean Quimby? Simpsons the Mayor? Oh, Mayor Quimby. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's a great song. Well, I'll take your word for it. Ha! Now I have your word. What you gonna do now, Although I'm quickly going to replace this with a grid, because the grid is useful. Grid, PBR, bulk asset, update, replace. Over here, replace that. And then I want to replace in current section only. Begin. Yes. Begin. Yes. Begin. Yes. Begin. Yes. Begin. Yes. Begin. No. Okay. So, that looks much nicer. Abastro is silent for remainder of stream. Aw. It's a fan favorite of the Mr. W fans fan club of the fans of the fan club of Mr. W fan club fans. Yes. Now you're sounding a little bit like, well, you're sounding a little bit like you sound Anthony Sarson 2, perhaps. So, station, yes. Well, actually, yeah, let's put in... I'll put in I don't know if I'll want to use the same platforms as I did over here, but I probably will. So I'll put those in over there. Also, I may, so with the station that I had back there, the platforms were on either side, but actually I might continue that over here, because I think that island platforms aren't that common in the US, are they? So if this kind of curves around maybe a little bit this way, or actually might even go straight. So then if I had this over here, let's just quickly measure out the length of the platform. Okay, let's measure this out from tip to tip. So 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 hippopotamus, 6 hippopotamus, 7 banana, 8 banana, 9 banana, 10 banana, 11, 21. Okay, that is about 720 feet. Good. We start over here. Oops. Start over here. Going for 720, around that. That length. So this will be, actually this needs to be the other way around. Hold on. So if this is the length of the platform, I don't think that island, so when I say island platform, what I mean is we have a 4-track main line, and with that the 2 inner tracks are the kind of more high speed or freight tracks that aren't going to be held up by commuter trains, whereas the outside tracks are the tracks that the commuter trains take, also of course the ones that need to turn off, but the commuter trains take and that stop by the stations like over here, for example, because then they can also come on here without having to cross over anything like that. Now, although, is that actually true? Yes, that is true. Good. Now, coming up to the yard, that's fine. Do I want to continue that? Now, because the reason why I'm asking is because with the station that we built over here, the layout we had was, let me just get a few tracks over here, it'll be faster. The layout was, we had the 4 tracks beside each other, and then we had the 2 platforms on either side. So we had 1 platform on the left, 1 platform on the right, and the tracks in the middle didn't have a platform whatsoever. We could do that here again as well, or we could have 2 tracks like that, and then we could have 2 tracks like that, which would mean that every track has access to the platform, which is great if you have a lot of trains that need to stop along here. But it does mean that you don't have direct access from the platform with the road. You will have to either go over a footbridge or an underpass or even just crossing boards. But yeah, that is a bit of a downside. So over here, we used an underpass anyway, but we've got a big station building, which you can't really have that well otherwise. Because I could put a station building on the other side. Let's just quickly try that out. So we go over here. See, the tracks are like this. We had a big station building. Could have it there. And then kind of have a fence between here. And the only way you can get onto the platforms is through an underpass. His fans never informed me. Neither did yours, or Buster. No island platforms. Legitimately the first picture that comes up when I search New Jersey Transit. Well, yeah, but is that a modern image, or is that of an old... Yeah, see, that looks quite modern. It's just when I think of... Hold on. Oh, well, that's not what I wanted. Apparently that's a company name. Hold on. Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, I was thinking more... I suppose I must have been remembering some very specific stations. Yeah, like this, where you have the platform on the side, and then you've got the building attached to it. That's the sort of station that I remember, that I think of more when I think of like the Age of Steam or getting to the end of that, and then maybe with some crossing boards connecting it, like over here. This is the sort of design that I'm thinking of, but then again, that probably isn't a very urban station, like a commuter, like a short distance commuter thing. Yeah, see, this sort of thing, building and platform like that. Which actually, that might be the same station as above. Hold on, 1 second. I won't take too long with this. That looks very, very similar. Huh, is that? Hold on, Cumberland, West Maryland. That's Cumberland. I think the other one was as well, wasn't it? Oh yeah, Cumberland, it's the same station. Anyway, or something like this. This is in Miami, maybe? Oh, Hollywood train. So probably, oh no, Hollywood, Florida. So not Miami, but Florida still. I was close. Look, I was close. This is the sort of thing I imagine. Where you've got platforms on either side and the tracks in the middle. Oh well. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi, more. Actual image. Did you copy paste the word Mississippi there or not? Bit option 2. No. Hey Shadows, you could put the station building next to the outermost track and have the footbridge coming out of it. I don't know if I really want footbridges. Because I think with footbridges it might feel a bit too British. Maybe that's what's wrong. American station? Yeah. I think footbridges might be a little too... make it feel a little bit too British. Let's have a look over here for the actual station asset. Yeah, this is a 200-meter long station asset, which is great, even though I would like it to have the passengers be spread out more. And it is worth pointing out, I don't actually want to build the station now. I want to just get a rough idea for what we're going to be dealing with, basically. Okay, so, oops. If I move this to over here, yeah, see, it just doesn't feel right. I think it doesn't feel that right to have a station building, but then no connection from the station building with the platforms outside of an underpass. But we don't have to build this now. Add one more platform? Well, you mean having a platform on both sides just with one track? Again, that doesn't feel quite right. I think I prefer having it the other way. I think I prefer having it the way that I built the other one. Because then you can have freight trains going in the middle tracks without them being right next to the passenger platforms. Plus, you wouldn't really want express trains or something like that stopping here anyway, considering how close it is to the terminus. How far are our tracks apart again? It's lined up with a rail, okay. So I just add that. Oh, right, of course. This isn't the terminus. Forgot, sorry. Oh, no. This definitely is not the terminus. Also, another thing to consider is, do we want the tracks to remain up on the embankment or not? Because, actually that's one too many tracks because this needs to be a platform object. Yeah, because for road crossings, that is going to be advantageous because then the roads can just go underneath the underpass. But then having that be the case might get a little unrealistic when it comes to building the other main line that's supposed to cross over the top of this one, because then that will have to be on an embankment, plus coming into the... Actually, I'm quickly going to turn off the limit contextual information. There we go. Yeah, because coming into the terminus, I wouldn't think that you'd like to have it on an embankment, because then you're going to have to fill in all of that earth to raise up the entire station and station approach and all of that. Because I think we've got, what is it, like 5 meters, 10 meters? Something like that. I think it's 5 meters. Yeah, it's 5 meters. We've got 5 meters embankment. And then having the entire land of the... that doesn't feel right. So I think I do want to have this come down. But do I want to have this come down before or after the station? Now, I would say probably after. So it continues... So because we've got the embankment coming in from pretty much the entire main line. Ever since we cross over from the bridge, it's up on an embankment, which is good for drainage and stuff like that. Especially when it's this flat. But over here it's quite rural. I'm going to turn on limit contextual information again. The again is not part of the title, by the way. Comes through here. Got this station raised up, that's good. But we've still got a lot of space. And then comes through here, through the industrial area, past the yard. And then it gets into the more downtown area. And I do really quite like the idea, the look of riding a train up here, looking down onto the roads and the cars and all of that, literally. And so I think we're going to keep that on the embankment at least until we pass the station, and then we'll probably begin a gradual decline down to actual zero, level 0, height 0. Which is where we'll then cross over with the other main line and have the Y and then begin the approach to the terminus. Will the station be curved? This station? No, there's really no reason for it. Plus then I wouldn't be able to use the long invisible station assets. Maybe at one more platform? No, there's no reason for it. All right, of course, yes, forgot, sorry. Why not a bit of both? You mean because of the height? Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to keep the embankment until here, and then I'm going to have a gradual downwards grade to level 0, and then have the bridge and the approach. Maybe because we don't want people giving reviews like, this isn't a railroad, it's a roller coaster. Maybe there's curved invisible stations. No, there is one invisible station which you can kind of curve, where you can change the angle of the passengers, but that's a really short one. Which means that any cars that are quite far away wouldn't really open the doors, I don't think, at least. So, yeah. Okay, let's just try what it would look like to attach tracks like this, although I think I'm going to have to move the train over by a little bit because that's going to be in the way, unfortunately. Right, the direction doesn't matter that much, I suppose. Doesn't an exit St. David's station exist? I don't think so. Feel free to look it up on the DLS, though. Okay, so this is pretty much a straight shot, but it's not exactly. It is a bit curved, which I'm actually quite happy about, because it does. So if we look at it from the up view, you can see that it's not exactly straight. It's curving a little bit this way, and that is going to. I think that's going to make all the difference when you're driving along, and you can just about see that. You can just about see that very gentle right-hand curve. I think that makes it feel a bit more realistic. I think the platforms are curved. Ah. Station Basic Access St. David's. Okay, I'm going to have a look. Although this is from 2009. TS 19, well, TS 2009, day 2014, that. Although, to be fair, a lot of the other assets, I might as well try. Well, say first. Ooh, also, yes, new repaints by Kanga Fango, which are probably coming to the DLS very soon. Let's have a look. Okay, it is already installed. Place that there. Yes, it is curved, but it's got all of the tracks. So that won't work. Okay, let's quickly apply the height. Like that. That should work nicely. And I do quite like the idea of keeping the terrain in quite close, because here we've got a little bit more space on the sides. But if I only apply the height to the inner two tracks, then this is quite a lot closer to the edge, and I quite like the idea of keeping that bit tighter running through the downtown area. Might even was considering using retaining walls, but that might be feel a bit too much like the UK, in which case that might be a little too close. So maybe I should just continue doing it like that, because that feels a bit safer than having it this close. Yeah, if you get a bit of subsidence, it's not going to mess up the tracks too much. I'm just going to save it like this. Maybe it's Exeter 1 for the terminus. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't want to be restricted by the asset. At any rate, I did only really bring up the Exeter one as proof that proper curved infestations do exist. Okay. Right, so now question. The question: how do we transition this from the spline road to the painted road? Over here, I just had a main painted road coming over into an intersection that the spline road fed into, and I think that worked quite well. But that is a little bit further away from the tracks. So if you look down this way, you can't really tell. Over by what we're doing, it's going to be right beside the tracks. So maybe that won't work too well in that case. Maybe there's another way we can do it. Maybe we can have... Well, actually, why not have a painted road coming across, going underneath the tracks? Because if you look back this way, the last road crossing the tracks was all the way here, just after the station, which is where it starts going into the painted road. Because after this point, we've got the yard where you can't really have a road going across, and that's taking a long bit of thing. I know we haven't put bushes here yet, but I don't want to spend time detailing any more than I have in the stream. And then after the yard, I think you would have a road crossing as soon as possible. So I think it only makes sense to have that there. Plus, it could be interesting because we're going to... Actually, that's a good point. We're going to need a yard lead because we've got this lead coming over there. So that could be quite interesting. We could have a bridge, like a track bridge, rail bridge, and then have the painted road coming underneath. Why is that still... That... Okay. Yeah. And then we could have a level crossing for the yard lead, which would make for a bit more interesting stuff when operating this end of the yard, which then leads into all painted roads in this direction. I think that works, probably. Convert roads, convert simple road to multi-spline road network, begin. Ha! There are some stations on the DLS called DES Amtrak Station, that also numbers, yes. They are also quite good. I just don't know if they are of any use to you. Well, I'll have a look. I will have a look. Thank you for the recommendation. I've got one of them installed. Is that... Ah. Right. I think... I might have had a look at this already. The thing is, I think Amtrak came in a bit too late. This wasn't Amtrak in the founded in the 70s? Hold on. Yeah, well, Amtrak was founded after Penn Central crashed and burned, because Penn Central couldn't... Penn Central was basically yeah, 71. Dates of operation, yeah, 1971. Because, well, there you go. Now you've got that pinned by accident. Enjoy the pinnedness of it. Yeah, that is really annoying that pin symbol is in the way. I can't actually copy the message. Hold on. That is actually really quite annoying. I can't... Hold on. Gonna have to do it this way. Yeah, because Penn Central basically said, we are losing an extreme amount of money every hour. All of our equipment is falling apart. We have no way of maintaining anything. Everything is burning and falling apart and smelling of diesel fumes. We have to cut everything that we possibly can. So passenger trains, yeah, sorry. And so passenger trains were cut. But a lot of people depended on the passenger trains, and so government created Amtrak to take over passenger services by law. But this is, of course, before Penn Central, so Amtrak wouldn't exist. And so, I mean, having some... So I know about these buildings, and I did have them installed on my old computer, but they are really quite good, but they do have the Amtrak logos on it. Yes, I could put other signs in there, but most of them have more modern features like recycling bins. But I suppose I can have a look at the other ones, because there might be some good ones. These ones are 2-track. Ooh, let's try this one. Maybe. This one. Ooh, I placed that one on my July's passport route. Haha. What message? Ah, this. They're different buildings. I know, yeah. Talking about losing money. You know, you now have to scan your receipt to leave some supermarkets, as I found out today. So you can't find what you need, they have to let you out. If you can't find what you need, they have to let you out. Yeah, that seems morally dubious to me. If you write DES Amtrak station in the search field, you see it all. Yeah. Yeah, see, this is a 6-track Amtrak station. Yeah, here are the DES ones. Actually, I wonder what's the difference between those ones and the other ones. Okay, I'll try that one. And actually I'll delete the actually, which one? Oh yeah, that one's more modern. So I'll delete that one. And just wait for it to finish downloading. But what's stopping a shoplifter from using the can't find it excuse unless security search everything for everyone without a receipt? Yeah, but security can't do that. You can't lay fingers on someone else. That would be violating the law and would make them liable for a lawsuit. Yeah, so let's see. Yeah, it does. I think for inspiration, these assets are maybe useful, but not to use as is. Not to use as is. They just don't fit here. Not sure. It doesn't sound pleasant though, yikes. But what was also... But that was also just an idea. Yeah, exactly. In which case, why have the scan to leave method? Well, I think there are a lot of interesting answers to that question, some of which might be more closer to the truth than others, but I don't want to get into many of them here. Right, so let's see, if we've got that going across here, then having this be where the bridge goes across, I think that'll work quite nicely. Ooh, although, one thing is, the road does go down a bit to get the clearance for the bridge. Clarence. So if I'll quickly put in the bridge, and then I can see how far down the road would need to go, because if we are going to have a level crossing for the yard lead, then of course it has to be level with the road, which means it means I'd have to lower the tracks down as well. The yard lead, I mean, I should specify when I say the tracks, because there are quite a few tracks over here, or so I've been told. Route info, Milton Railroad is a fictional route set in 1950s, 1960s USA. Ooh, that's a fancy command. I wonder if it works on your routes as well. I'll have to try that out the next time you stream Trainz. AKA tomorrow, dun dun dun. Yeah, you didn't know that you were gonna stream Trainz tomorrow, did you? See, the whole you streaming on Saturday afternoon and then me streaming Saturday night, that's being carried over to Sunday. Only you're gonna be streaming Trainz. Dun dun dun. What do you think about that? Although Kango did actually stream Trainz a while ago. And it was quite good. Okay, now... yeah, that's a bit too big because I do just want one span. So maybe if I have that like so, have that come back down to around there. I've got to make sure that the ballast isn't clipping through, which it is slightly, so I've got to move this round, probably to there. Does that line up? Actually, yeah, that lines up pretty well. So that there. Although look at how well Trainz runs now on this computer after the updates in Service Pack 5. Doesn't that just instill a sense of adventure in terms of route building in you? Don't you just want to either load up an old route and actually continue with it, or start a new route? You could start a new route with lovely locomotives and then actually finish that one. Okay. Right, now let's see what the height difference is for the road underneath. Over here, come on. Yes, okay, yeah, yes, lag, yeah, okay, good, yeah, okay, good, here we are. So this is -261. Is there any, is this a straight piece down here that's been straightened? That's, yeah, it's okay. So -261. Willis? Oh, are you here, Willis? If you are, hello, welcome. Good to see you, if you are here. We missed you on Friday. Right, so if I lower that down to this height. And tell you what, I am, even though this will be a painted road, I am just quickly going to put in the spline road just to make it easier to visualize how the grades need to be. So like that. And then how long is our yard lead? I think it was... I was about to say I think it was a mile, but I don't think that's true. I think it's shorter than that. Oh yeah, it's much, much shorter than that. It starts over here. Yeah, because I think I forgot about the yard lead and then put it in as a bit of an afterthought, which is always what you want in a in big infrastructure things. Although maybe it wasn't that... Okay, so if I imagine the curve going around from there, so it's about to there. How far is that? That's... Actually, that is that about a mile? Is it? No, surely it's not. Although, hold on, I thought, wasn't a mile 2,500 feet? 1 second. Actually, hold on, I've got the mile-long train, why don't I just use that? Hold on. Find it first. Mile-long train. Can I place that there? Yes. Okay, so if I put one end over where the junction is, so about there. Where's the other end? Yeah, so it's about... So it's less than that. Tell you what, let's I'll decouple that. So then I've got this remaining bit. I can just line that up over here, and then we can compare the lengths. So the difference... Okay, I know that it's slightly different because of... Yeah, so it's actually about half a mile. It's about half a mile. How many feet is that? Hold on. It should be 1,200 and something, right? No, 26, sorry, of course, because it's 20. Oh, it's 5, yeah, I knew it was 2,500, it wasn't 2,500, it was 5,200, of course. Yeah, I just mixed changed the numbers around. So 2,640 feet. 2,640 feet would be a good length here. So if we start over where the points are, so 2,500, and that's 2,640 feet. That's exactly half a mile there, pretty much. Actually, that comes in very nicely to just before the station, which means that I have totally deliberately and with complete premeditation put in just the right amount of space to have a good yard lead on this side as well. Yes. Anyway. Roger, what's our vector, Victor? Yes. Haha, nah, I don't have it up on mine. I am shocked beyond belief. Thank you. Was quite a while ago. distill a sense of adventure? Of course. PL1, maybe. Start a new route, but PL1 and JP1 and UK3 and UK4. Faints. What, yes. 0.8, right? 0.4. At least the coach yard wasn't an afterthought. Yes. Is this measured in feet with or without green broken toes? I mean, so if we look at the color spectrum of the ruler in Trainz, you should see that there is actually a tiny little bit of green in here. And considering that this isn't one continuous line, but it is actually broken into multiple sections, there is technically a section in there like that. Oh, I've heard that heel this time of the year. Teal toe. Actually, that... no, I won't give you ideas. I refuse. But where did the toes come in? Oh dear, that might disrupt the readings. No, where? That's what. Nowhere. Teal toe station? No, not teal toe station. The thing is, I'm going to have to get the yardley down to this level for the level crossing. So if I just put in a straight section here along this handy line, which of course is going a little bit too far to the side because it is actually curving, but like that. Sure. What height did we say for this? Negative 261. So height, negative 2.61. Set that down to here, and then... Oh, that's grade. Oh no, is it? No. Oh, it is. Hold on. Oh, height. Yeah, this is the one I wanted. I accidentally put it in the grade. I didn't want a negative 2.61% grade. I just wanted it to be set to that height. So there we go. Now apply the terrain height to this. Now, if I were to just take this and put it onto the end here, what sort of a grade would we get? That does look rather steep. Get gradient. 1.67, it says. But I know that that's lying, at least in part, because the track isn't one straight line, it's a Bezier curve, so the steepness of it changes. So I'll quickly get... Actually, I'll quickly get NF7 or something. Canadian Pacific. That'll be fun. Yeah, I have very fond memories of this asset. This was one of the assets that I used way back when I first started playing Trainz. Teal toe. Teal toe station! XD. Hainslow, Winslow, Teal toe. Fits right in. Hanslow! I'll consider it. Tell you what, when we get to building the station, I'm inevitably going to ask for name suggestions. And if you suggest it then there is a chance I'll pick it. Although, you might think that that's just rubbing salt in the wound if you pick at a teal toe, but it might fit. It might fit. Baseboards. Wait a minute. This isn't... Hold on. Hold on. What is it logged in? Am I logged in correctly? Hold on. Let me just quickly check. So this one is by Paradise, and this one is... No, I think I might be logged in as you still, unfortunately. Because this one says it's by 8686. If I edit into this one... I mean, it's not a big issue. But... Actually, this one... Where did... Hold on. This maybe that's the... Hold on. This one says it's made by you. This one says it's made by me, correct? Yes. So let's load into the other one. Let's see. And... so it appears that I am logged in correctly. For some reason, there's just a version of the route made by you that wasn't there before, that I couldn't have saved since then, since I wasn't logged in as you. But yet it's still there. Hold on, I'll quickly just double check on the launcher. Train settings, my trains. Yep, logged in correctly. So, yeah, you did log in correctly. It, for some reason, just created a copy of the route under your name without any of the stuff that I changed. Very, very odd. Very odd! Also, I'm going to have to disable the helper. Where is it? Junctions overlay, a command H. This is annoying because when they used to have the control keyboard shortcuts on Trainz, which wasn't great because Mac uses command instead of control usually. So in one of the service packs, they updated it, so instead of control, it uses command. However, they apparently didn't remember or think of that certain command keyboard shortcuts are already bound. Like, for example, Command H hides the window. So if I press Command H here, you can see it hides the application. The application is now hidden and you can no longer see it. Which means that the keyboard shortcut of Junctions Overlay, which was Control H, is now Command H, which means that that doesn't work on Mac anymore. Yes, N3V quality control testing. Great, yes. Okay, so, oh, does this have an updated interior? Oh, they must have updated the interior asset. Interesting. Anyway, let's quickly... If you have a look down... Actually, you probably can't see it, but there's a little number here, the grey one, in the bottom left corner underneath the face cam. And that is the grade. So let's just quickly have a look and see how steep that is going down here. Okay, so it's negative 1.38, negative 1, negative 2.15, negative 2.44, that really isn't ideal. Yes, a negative 2.44 appears to be our steepest section. Yeah, until we get into here, which, yeah, now it's leveling back out to, well, to a presumably 0, but it hasn't quite gotten there yet. Okay, so negative 244, well, negative 246 technically, apparently, is the steepest section on this grade, which isn't ideal, because the yard lead, the yard lead's main function is to provide a track for yard operations to be completed without fouling the main line. So, say for example, a big mixed freight train came into the yard, and the different cars need to go to all sorts of different destinations. So, say that the easiest way of switching this would be to have the switcher attached on this side of the train. So you cut some cars, take them out onto the yard lead, so you back up out onto the yard lead without fouling the main, so then you can stop and then go forward into a different track, and then decouple and sort the train that way. Now you can do that from both sides in a yard like this, but sometimes it's going to be more advantageous to do it from one side than another. For example, if you want to or need to build a train in a certain order, so that, for example, some of these cars need to be dropped off at station 1, some of them at station 2, some of them at station 5. And so you've got to put them in the correct order so that they get dropped off either from front to back or from back to front, depending on the orientation of the switches that you need to drop them off at. So it could be that you really have to have the engine attached to this side, otherwise you've got to do a whole bunch of running around. So that's the purpose of the yard lead. Now, where the issue comes in is that the switchers aren't that big, usually. So they aren't that big because they need to they don't need to go fast, and they can, running around without cars, they don't take that much fuel, so it's just generally more efficient, and they are faster to accelerate and brake as well. They all can also, of course, go around sharper curves, which is a very big thing in the yard. But problem is, with a grade like this, you are going to be limited to the amount of cars you can take out in a single operation, in a single shove or pull, yes. Because you won't be able to take too many, otherwise you won't be able to push them back up because you're not that strong. Now, I would say that means we can't have this grade here like that. But it might actually be okay and make things more interesting, because there's one thing that might salvage this, which is this. The thing I'm looking at here is the higher terrain of here, because we need to get this track from down here all the way up to here, which means that we are going to have a really long uphill grade, which would be great for gaining speed. Because at 15 miles an hour, which is the speed limit in the yard, I think you'd be able to shove a train up this little incline without issue, if you were already going 15 miles per hour. And given that we need a grade going uphill here, if a train does get stuck on the grade, you can just reverse, get a bit of speed, and then try getting up that way. And I think that might even make for more fun operations as is. So, not ideal, but actually might end up being for the better. So I'll quickly measure the distance. So from about there, I think, to here, about 500 feet. So from there to there would be coming up at the same grade, which I think is what I want, at least for this section. because that way you're going to have the same acceleration in both directions. Unless, of course, if you get stuck down there, then you might not be able to make it up either way. Which, I mean, I don't know about what you would like, but that is not something that I would like. So if we just imagine having a junction over here, we'd need a little bit of flat space so that we've got a flat junction over here. So something sort of like this, probably. This is just very rough, I know, but it's fine. Oh, I can't. Why can't I put... Oh, because... Yeah, that's annoying that you can't modify the tracks with a train near it. Hold on. This, you just... Okay, you head on, you go into the yard. Then I'll add another spline point in there. I'll straighten all of these bits. And then I'll need to create the spline point from here, otherwise it'll reposition the tracks, which is not what I want. Okay, so maybe have that come to about there before starting the grade. So now, if I just... Let's just see if I attach it, what sort of grade it'll give me. So that is a 1.35. Of course, that's going around a curve. So if I just put in 1.35, coming up from here, going straight, that'll take us to about there, which I don't think that this is going to give us all the height we need, but maybe. Actually, yeah, look, that pretty much gives us the exact amount of height we need, which is very useful. So if I now add in a little straight piece here, and then add in the connection from there to there. Come on. Good. Yeah, that'll work. Probably. Now, yes, I don't have a crossover yet, so you can only enter onto the main line at this point from here. You can't come off the main line onto... One second, I need to move this to get a little bit more of a shallow bend. You can't come off of the main line into the yard yet. So either I'm going to have some sort of crossover here, or have another one coming down and then cross. Yeah, I'm just going to have a crossover, I think. I know that we went to all of the trouble to have the flyover here to avoid having a crossover, but the important thing to remember is that the traffic going out onto the main line in this direction is going to be so much heavier than the traffic that is coming from the main line over here that wants to go into the yard. Yes, we'll have the connection here, like the main line going over this way, but I imagine that that probably connects up with the main line over here at some point, so that you would route heavy freight trains through here and then into the yard rather than through the city. So that does make logical sense somewhat, that traffic-wise you could just have a crossover here to allow access to the yard. Right. That means that we can actually have our grade crossing down here. Of course, it won't be this road, it'll be a painted road, but still, look. And then we can have that come up here and then have... Yeah, that'll work out very well, I think. Especially if you're driving up here and you look down, you can see some yard operations going on the lead, or if you're doing the yard operations, you can see some mainline trains crossing over the bridge up there. I think that adds a nice element to what we're doing. Now it's time for a thumbnail because we've gone a bit over time, but I'll get an interesting. Actually, if I do something like that and then increase the render distance, I know we won't see all the tracks on there, but I think that might get the point across that we are actually making progress. Yeah, if I just get that. Maybe change the angle slightly. And if he's not working out, I'll get a Saxon instead. Maybe if I go to fly camera and go a little bit further away. A little bit down. Maybe the other side would be better. Maybe one more like so. One more. I'm sure one of them will work. Now it's time to read chat. Oh, there's a lot of chat. Yeah, Steel Toe, ha ha ha. It would be a great honor for our colorful toad friend. Did it duplicate the route again? You are logged in correctly, but it still does it for some reason. No, you are logged in. No, I checked it. I changed it. No idea why that happened. It happened a few days ago too, only there were 2 made by you. I deleted the older one. Absolutely no idea why that happened. Very odd. Well, Command H does work in full screen, but yeah, come on N3V. We can just about see it. Yes, the realistic mode, not really necessary. I wonder why that CN livery is called chocolate, banana, and toothpaste. I don't know. Can you just wrap it up for a rail replacement bus? Wait, what do you mean? Can you just swap it for a rail replacement bus? Swap what for a rail replacement bus? Sorry. Swap what for a rail replacement bus? Without a yard lead, you'd have a whole lot of running to do. An awful lot. Have you ever seen an American rail replacement bus? I dread to. No. Where was I? No, because most of the time there aren't even any passenger rail services to replace. True. So, but true, yes. Would be great if there was a ruler spline, right? Yes. Sounds great. Hey, is that Cyrillic? Always the Saxons. Greek. Ah, that's it. Which is very similar, letter-wise at least. Swap the express. Oh, I see. An awful lot of running to do. Doctor Who's reference, yes. Right, so with that... Actually, hold on. I will quickly save again. And... one moment. So, did you mean replace the express, or did you mean replace the freight stuff? Okay, so this is definitely the one, yeah, made by me. This one is the one made by you, which I can delete. Delete that. Yes. Now if I go over, let's just double, triple, quadruple, quintuple check. Why does it have these images? What? What? Why? I never, what? I have no idea. Hold up. No idea. Let me just quickly check to make sure that it's all still there. Yeah, there's a reason why I export the route after every stream. Because if I didn't, I think corruption could quite easily take over. So this is what I will do. Here's the route. actually, and I'll actually end the stream now because I don't want to show the folder. So thank you all very much for watching, and good night. Bye-bye. Same time, same place tomorrow. Bye.